Hey, this is Dylan. Thanks for watching.
And this is Quinn.
What's up, fam? We're back. We are in the middle of a snow apocalypse right now, so we are sitting in our respective homes, separate as if there's not a pandemic going on already. But anyways, I'm in my garage, all bundled up. We could not watch this show and not talk about it, so we're doing multiple videos tonight, just kind of release them before Friday. That's the goal. But anyways, there will be more videos, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash the little bell button, ding, so that you know when we drop more videos. There will be more coming. We will talk about WandaVision in the last few episodes, as well as some other stuff coming up. And we might be talking about other shows too. So, and The Walking Dead's coming back soon. So it's like everything's about to get nuts again. Anyways, don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.pictures.com. Slice.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't left now, well, it's already too late. Not really, but still, this is your spoiler alert. And this video is going to be talking about WandaVision. So if you haven't seen it, go watch those 6 episodes and then come back here to see this. Unless you like being spoiled. You have been warned.
So in this video, we are talking about who is the big cameo. So just a little setup. In an interview with Elizabeth Olsen, it's been widely reported that she said that there was a big cameo coming towards the end of the series that is on par with Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. We already told you it was going to be spoilery, so boom. Anyways, spoiler in general. So the truth is a little bit different, and it kind of changes things a little bit. She didn't actually use those words. The reporter that was interviewing her asked her if there was something like that upcoming, and she said yes. So I mean, it changes it.
Changes it like this much.
Yeah, she didn't use those words herself. She didn't choose those words, but she did agree, and she didn't protest, saying like, not so much, but maybe, yeah. But she said yes. So we're going to run with that. And also, Paul Bettany has said in 2 different interviews almost the same exact thing that he said. In both interviews, he said almost the same exact thing, which is, so it sounds like it's like a purposeful leak type thing. It's a pretended leak. So he said in both these interviews, basically, that it was somebody that he has been wanting to work with, so he hasn't worked with, and that on screen his character and there's fireworks.
And there will be fireworks.
So basically, like, it's somebody that he's been wanting to work with, and there's fireworks, and so that's kind of like where we're shooting for who this person could be. So Quinn.
Yes.
Do you want to start off? Who?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start it off. We'll start off, I guess, randomly in the list. It could be Michael Douglas, with it being Hank Pym.
Mm-hmm.
He's met Ant-Man. He met
Vision
Lang Ant-Man.
Okay.
He met Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, but he has not come face to face with Michael Douglas as well, who is also still Ant-Man technically. So Hank Pym
could also be the
a cameo.
aerospace engineer, which is we'll talk about it in another video.
So there's a link with that, but that's not the most exciting one. I mean, now that we have Evan Peters coming in as Quicksilver, we also have, which means they might be leaking more of those Fox characters into the MCU, which Professor X, James McAvoy, could be making an appearance, which you said, I believe, and also in another video talking about with House of M and how this is pretty much, not pretty much. It's a low key setup for House of M, so they could definitely bring in Professor X and other mutants this way somehow.
Yeah, and a lot of people want that to be Patrick Stewart, but personally, I think he's done playing Professor X. Just the age issue, and he's got other engagements with CBS going on.
Yeah. Watch Picard. Okay. But also the one that I want the most, that I also think that's out there in the fandom as well, is another Professor X, but this Professor X is Bryan Cranston. It's just because I feel like they're wanting to like mix up the mutants a little bit, and now and they have a chance to, do things the way they want to and not just use the entire old cast.
Yeah.
So that's
a whole nother discussion in itself, is like, who would they keep and who wouldn't they keep? I would prefer that they keep James McAvoy. I mean, I love the dude, but Bryan Cranston is a very compelling pick as well.
He just looks really good bald.
Yeah, he does. And that's a perfect meta tie-in with Malcolm in the Middle. Being the only 90s, 2000s show that they referenced in there. So maybe they referenced a little bit of Even Stevens type stuff.
Even Stevens. I just had a really deep flashback. Wow. All right. Also, they could. Wow, that messed me up. Also, it could be, Samuel L. Jackson could show up and reprise his role as Nick Fury one more time, since Vision and Nick Fury have never met.
Yep.
And that's,
I mean, why wouldn't he, with all this craziness going on? Why wouldn't he step in? Plus, he's got his own series coming up with the Secret Invasion series, so they might be setting some of that up. We'll get into that later. Who we think is a Skrull, and who our big bads could be.
Yes. Also, I mean, I had Doctor Strange written down as the big cameo. I mean, it could just be like a double positive. Like you'd said earlier, like it's a cameo that hasn't been announced, and we already know Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he's kind of a given, because we know that this series leads into his movie that's upcoming. So
yeah.
And we'll see. Yeah. Also with Professor X, the other obvious choice would be Magneto, because in the House of M series, Magneto shows up and takes her to Professor X to try to help her with her mental health issues. However, it's not established that she's his daughter in this universe, so there's a wrinkle there that they might just fix real quick with him just being like, "Hey, you don't know me, but
I'm your actual father." What do you mean, my actual father? Well, you see, and then they could have just been growing up with their stepdad and not know it the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, even the parents that they mentioned for her in the show are still not the same foster parents that they had in the comics. They're completely different names.
So
that could be
who knows? There's a lot of ways they could spin that. Magneto would be really fun. I think. Did you have any more?
Giancarlo Esposito as Magneto, please.
I had one more that I brought up to Dylan that made him. But I think.
RDJ could.
Oh yeah.
Paul Bettany has shared screen time with him. If we're talking about on par with Luke Skywalker, as far as the MCU goes, he would be the OG main dude from the MCU. However, if we're talking about comics, the OG main dude in the comics is Reed Richards. So that could be another tie-in, with it being John Krasinski, Reed Richards, and no one else.
And I could I could see Paul and John having some really good chemistry on set, and like the characters having really good chemistry.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of as far as like the Magneto thing, just to mention that Ian McKellen as Magneto, him and Paul Bettany have shared screen time before in Da Vinci Code, so that he's out as a candidate.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, RDJ was there when he was created, so I don't think that's a candidate either. It just going off of the whole, who would be the Luke Skywalker of this universe type thing.
Yes.
But yeah, I would love for it to be Reed. That would be a big one. So, but you have a very interesting take. Go ahead and spill those.
Oh,
beans.
yes. So, who is the Luke Skywalker of this? Yeah, right. So, my thought, and you'll see me say this several times through all these videos, is because it all ends up coming back to the one scene that you've seen in a lot of the trailers where it's like her face to face with a big version of the Mind Stone. And what I'm thinking is, what if the cameo is not just like one character, it's a cameo from the multiverse itself, and like she's there talking to Mind Stone says words back to her, throws images into her head, like, did you really think that all of this was just that this was the only Earth? There is an entire multiverse. That's how I helped you build all of this, and pull in your brother and pull in Vision. They're not from this universe. And then throws in the images of the multiverse, like you see Venom like swinging through the city, you see Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man fighting Lizard, you see who else is there? See the original Fantastic Four.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire with the train, the OG Fantastic Four flying off into space to fight Galactus Cloud.
With Captain America as Johnny Storm.
With Captain America as Johnny Storm. And then like they could even, like, if they wanted to pay super homage to all the Marvel movies that no one knows about, that somehow are found on TV at 3:00 in the morning, like the Captain America movies from the 70s where he's on the motorcycle throwing his invisible shield. I say invisible because it's just plastic, but yeah, the cameo could be
the original Hulk. Gotta throw that one in.
Oh yeah, cameo could be the multiverse itself.
That could definitely be a thing. Like, and that would be a perfect setup for how it looks Spider-Man 3 is going, with pretty much everybody and their mama being caught on set. I think they released pictures of me on set the other day, and I wasn't even there. So, anyways, there's like a screen crush, and that's your mom. But so, yeah, I mean, that could be, I mean, that's very, very compelling. I kind of like that. But anyways, I think that's all we have, unless you got another one you want to add to the list.
No.
Cool. All right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon so that you know when we drop more videos, because more are coming. And I am Dylan.
This is Quinn.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.